Hey everyone, welcome back to 996 The How. I know we all want to talk about the Connor Ingram Coyotes, but for this week we'll be looking at prospects. We're reaching the quarter mark for the Roadrunners, other prospects around the world. Today we'll talk about the Roadrunners, and then on Friday dig into the prospects, how they're doing around the world. And don't scoff at the Roadrunners. Sometimes there's surprises. We've seen it with Garland, with Bunting, and now with Michael Carcone, who every day seems to be proving me wrong that he deserves to be a regular NHLer. Congrats for Carcone with a great game last night against the Lightning. So let's get into it. Roadrunners 10-6-2, fourth place in the Pacific Division. They are not in the Central Division. They're 1 point behind Abbotsford Canucks, 2 points behind the Ontario Reign, and 5 points behind the Calgary Wranglers, who are running away with the division. Glad to see the team well above 500 record, and they got to just continue it going. So I remember last year I did the same quarter mark check-in with the Roadrunners, and I believe they were 9-5-1, and then just derailed. Somehow made the playoffs, being 7th place in their division, and ultimately got kicked out in the first round. It seems like they're not scoring. They're not winning games by scoring. They seem to be led by good defense and strong goaltending. Again, I don't watch the Roadrunners. This is all just looking at stats. Hard to find stats for the American Hockey League, and not many stats to gather for the American Hockey League. They should probably beef that up a little bit more. So goals for per game, 2.44. Again, really low, below 2.5 goals per game. You got to hit 3. At least the goals against per game is below 3. It's at 2.83. Would like to see that come down closer to 2.5. Power play, 10.7%. So something's not going right there, especially when you have the sniper and PP specialist of Dylan Guenther in your lineup every game. But the penalty kill is really good, 84.1%. So is this like the Jacqueline Hyde of the Coyotes? The Coyotes really good offensively, pretty poor defensively, but these past 2 games obviously not. They've been just focusing all on defense and structure, so hopefully they're turning around, the Coyotes are. But for the Roadrunners, seems like they focus on structure, they focus on defense and keeping pucks out, and the offense maybe isn't there throughout the lineup and maybe a bit too top heavy. The last 5 games, a bit of a seesaw here. They just won last night against the Ontario Reign, and then a loss to Henderson Silver Knights, then a win, then a 4-0 loss to Calgary, and a 3-2 win with Calgary. With the American Hockey League, you're facing the same team like back-to-back and also back-to-back nights. It seems like the American Hockey League, they rarely play throughout the week. Tuesday night was a rare game for the Roadrunners. Usually they only play Friday night and Saturday night. And considering how Villalta, the starting goaltender, is getting all the games, that's pretty tough on him to play every game, especially back-to-back Friday and Saturday nights. And it seems like when they win, it's always 3-2. So again, that sneaky sort of Dave Tippett, Rick Tocchet, Coyotes hockey we're used to seems to be going on down in Tucson. So let's get into the players. Pretty much the most important thing we're all here for is how are the players doing? How are they developing? Well, good thing is Guenther is leading the team with 16 points in 18 games. He's second place on the team in goals, and he's got 10 assists. So great. Guenther needs to be leading the team in points. That's the only reason why he's down there. If he wasn't leading the team in scoring, there'd be problems. But nothing bad to say about Guenther. He's doing what he needs to do, lead the team in scoring. And maybe it's some other guys that need a help on the scoring department, and it's not him that's the problem. Nathan Smith is having a good bounce back year. I thought he was very underwhelming and disappointing last season. It seems like the go-to guys this season for the Coyotes are Coyotes prospects. Whereas last year, it was like Dia, Dolphin, and Carcone. Again, Carcone not really a prospect. He's an older guy. So don't consider him a Coyotes prospect. But being led by Guenther, Smith, and Dome, bona fide Coyote prospects, young guys. It's great that they're leading the team. Just need a good supporting cast, it seems like. Josh Dome leads the team in goals with 7. 2 assists, 9 points. This guy is just Lawson Crouse. Honestly, every highlight reel I see of him, it's Lawson Crouse. This puck is on his stick and off his stick immediately. He's in the right areas between the hash marks, between the top of the circles, in the house area, like Tyson Nash likes to call it, and just wires it. Very mirrored hockey style compared to Lawson Crouse. So God forbid there ever is an injury to Crouse. We got a good supplement and call up for Crouse in Josh Doan. Kirkland, 1 goal, 7 assists, 8 points in 7 games. Pretty good point per game numbers. Maybe he's injured, only playing 7 games. Kellerman, 7 points in 11 games. Probably the reason why he was called up. Brings that energy style for the bottom pairing lines. Yannick, 6 points in 11 games. You would probably want that to be a bit higher. He's been recently called up by the Coyotes and then recently sent down by the Coyotes. And Rat2, pretty disappointing. 4 points in 12 games played. I loved him in the rookie tournament when he was paired with Geekie. Him and Geekie and Doan seemed to be, driving the bus for that rookie tournament and putting on good performances for the Coyotes. So we'd love to see Rat2 get a bit better and help out Guenther and Doan in the scoring department. We go to defense. Soderstrom's leading the defense in points. Great to see that. He's also on the top pairing most of the time with Kolyachonok, but unfortunately we called up Kolyachonok for the Vegas game and then he got injured and is now week to week. So we just injured Soderstrom's defensive partner for the foreseeable future for 1 game. It's going to be tough for Soderstrom, but the fact that he's leading the defense in point scoring is great to see. He's an offensive defenseman. Hopefully he's working on the defensive side of his game as well. Zuber, 6 point in 18 games. It's his first season on North American ice, so I'm okay with these numbers. Big body guy, long stick. I was very surprised by him in the rookie tournament. I didn't realize he was so big, so noticeably big on the ice. Kesselring also, he reminds me of Kesselring. I was pretty underwhelmed with Kesselring last season, but this season on his recent call-up, he's been quiet, which is a good thing. Defensively responsible, big. He's a bit physical, could be more physical. He's got a long reach and stick as well. So I like that style of defense Bill Armstrong is moving towards. Big, long-reaching defensemen who are good at keeping the puck out and battling in front of the net. We see that with Josh Brown as well. So I'm happy with Kesselring's call-up. I think he fit in well and really shored up the defense and is establishing a defensive style of game that we've been missing from Travis Dermott. Kolyachonok, 3 points in 11 games. Then we go to the goalies. It's a one-man show here, and honestly, I think we are seeing the best goalie ever in Tucson Roadrunners history. I mean, Prosvetov had 1 good season, maybe his first season, and then from there, he would struggle to maintain a .900 save percentage. But Villalta, we picked him up from the Ontario Reign in free agency. He's 9-5-1, a .924 save percentage, and a .243 goals against average. We got Dylan Wells, who the Elite Prospects page for him says he's retired. So that's a state of Tucson Roadrunners goaltending. We have really no backup after Villalta, which is why if people are thinking about a trade with Vejmelka because he's on a downswing and maybe desperate teams would look at Vejmelka as a chance to get better, it only will happen if we're getting a goaltender back. We can't trade away Vejmelka and then call up Villalta as the backup goalie, and then who are we going to have playing games for the Roadrunners? Nobody. Thornton, I'm happy that he got sent to the Roadrunners. He was injured right after training camp, so I wasn't sure where he was going to go, but again, he's recently injured again. So he's only played 2 games, pretty poor numbers, but it's his first time in the American Hockey League. Hopefully, whatever injuries he's been battling to start the season, he gets over it. I really loved his performances in 2 years straight for the rookie tournament. So excited to see Thornton. Hopefully he becomes healthy, starts more games, gives Villalta some rest, and is able to finally give the Roadrunners a good backup goalie position. Last year it was Prosvetov and John Gillies for some time, which was a pretty bad combo. So hopefully we don't run Villalta into the ground and he's able to get some help from Thornton. Some like disappointing players, I would say McCartney. He's got 3 points in 8 games. He seems to be injured a lot. Even last season, his gameplay totals were pretty low. And again, this year, he's missed 10 games. Sanford, 2 points in 12 games. He's like a fourth line NHLer. So the fact that he's only got 2 points in 12 games for the Roadrunners doesn't bode well with me. And Kesselring he had no points in 6 games played for the Roadrunners and then got called up. So obviously we're not looking to Kesselring for offense. It's all about stability, structure, and playing the body on the defensive side, which is why we called up Kesselring. Some lineup consistencies. Guenther usually plays with Nathan Smith most of the time. Sometimes it's Guenther, Smith, and Doan. But other times, if the coach wants to balance out the forward group, it's sometimes Guenther, Smith, and Sanford. Sometimes it's Kirkland. I want to say Ratty's only played 12 games in a total of 18 games, so I wonder if he's injured as well. Like I said, Soderstrom usually plays with Kolyachonok, and Zuber is paired with an American Hockey League veteran in Cam Crotty. I believe they're roommates too. Could be wrong on that. But it's good that Zuber, who's never played on North American ice, is always paired with a veteran defenseman in Crotty. And hopefully we develop Zuber really well. So that's it for the Roadrunners. For me, they got to just keep this up. Don't fall off a cliff. Hopefully no more injuries for the Coyotes, how we steal their players and they kind of, wander around for the next 50 games or so. Because they only play 72 games in the American Hockey League season. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.